What's going on, everybody? It's NBAustin967 back here with another video, and today's video will actually be two parts of my NBA 2K21 My Career wish list. And the reason I'm putting two parts in this one video is because both parts were going to end up being like 4.5 minutes long, and there was no point in doing those short videos. So actually, some of the stuff that I'm going to be discussing used to be in 2K back in like 2K11, 2K12, and then they removed it. But I'm putting my own twist to it, and I hope that I could make it better. And then I have my own idea. Um, let's just start off with part one, which is earning VC and our actual NBA salaries for our MyPlayer. And this one might be a little bit crazy to NBA developers and whatnot right off the jump because, you know, them and their microtransactions. But I have a great idea. For VC restrictions, you know how NBA 2K sells millions and millions and millions of copies. And then I wouldn't be surprised if they also earn like hundreds of thousands of dollars from like microtransactions, because how many people, you know, buy VC, of course. People like Troy Dan, Cash, LSK, and people like big YouTubers, of course. They spend so much money on VC for packs and whatnot. That's not even forgetting all the people that have like multiple MyCareers and multiple, like, they buy all sorts of stuff from swags. So anyway, for 2K21, how about we only use our VC going towards our attributes, animations, and certain stores like Swags or the NBA store, which is like the basic ones that we end up spending our VC at anyway. And then this is strictly my career, so obviously we would still use our VC in MyTeam, which is probably where they make their most amount of microtransactions money. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Alright, and then for money, as you know, as a successful NBA player, you know, even if you're young, straight up coming into the league, like Trey Young, Luka, De'Aaron Fox, and whatnot, and that's not even mentioning someone like Zion, who was the #1 pick, and I think their salaries is about like 9 million in the first year alone. And then he signed with Jordan Brand for his shoe contract, and you know, bro, you would get paid a lot, especially because you're Zion. You got all that hype, the most hyped up player since LeBron. But anyway, I'm digressing. Back to the topic at hand. You know, once upon a time in NBA 2K11, 2K12, as I alluded to earlier very vaguely, there used to be skill points, and we used to have our NBA salary contract money. So we could use it on we could use our money on a various amount of things. Like, you know, if we wanted to, we could use our money on our apartment, mansion, furniture, tattoos, and maybe even our cars. Because, you know, with furniture, 2K always just gives us the stuff right away. But what if we wanted something better? What if we wanted to get, like, really bougie? What if some people just really want to be broke? We just get, like, you know, just a table and one chair because it's just me. Next is, you know, this is also under the assumption that, we have a more open area for a park or whatever they want to end up calling it, because they call it the redacted, aka hidden. And so that's mainly a concern for cars, but that would be really awesome. Because can you imagine if someone pulls up to the neighborhood and, you know, there's a parking lot or something, and they just pull up in a Lambo? Like, of course 2K would have to like get the rights to Lamborghini and all sorts of stuff, but like whatever the most expensive car they have, imagine someone pulls up in that and then you're over there with like a bust down freaking 1984 car. Like, bruh. Okay, anyway, of course, you know, there was also the My Penthouse where you could eventually get a better house or whatever instead of that. I don't even know what that type of house is called. But you had to get to a certain rep level. Instead of waiting till we get to Elite 2 or Elite 3 or whatever it is for the rep level, I'm not even sure because I never got there, obviously. But how about once we get the money, or if we actually just want to use it, like, we don't have to have the money to actually just get it. Because what if I don't want the big penthouse? What if I'm fine with what I got? And the next thing that I think that we should use our money on is actually NBA player camps, which I think is the second best idea during my entire wish list, because you know, I'm not gonna spoil it for the next video, but you know, you'll know. The last thing that we should be able to use our money on is being able to attend NBA players camps to upgrade certain attributes beyond what we set the cap to, which I think should be a limit of 3. That way, you know, we don't make an overpowered build, or like we already had a really good build and then you made it even more overpowered because, you know, you went to all these player camps. But that's the next part, actually. As I said, back in 2K12, we used to have, like, you know, the skill points, the money, and we also had NBA player camps. But I believe it was only Hall of Famers, where it was like if it was Hakeem, you work on your post and you work on your defense and stuff like that. I did say that we were only allowed to have 3 NBA player camps to attend to, and I was also thinking only being able to attend 1 per archetype, and that's because if you were to use like all 3 of them in the same category, like if you were used to use them all in like playmaking, then you'd get a plus, what's the math again? I think 8. Yeah, you would get a plus 8 in playmaking, and that would just be completely overpowered, especially if you already end up having like an 86, 88 playmaking stats. So no, let's just completely avoid that. But I'm just gonna try to breeze through this a little bit. So for jump shooting camps, it would be Joe Harris for $500,000 plus 1, Kyle Korver for $850,000 plus 2, Klay Thompson for $3 million plus 3, and Steph Curry for $7 million plus 4. For the wing players, for the bigs and the rest of the archetypes like playmaking, defending, and whatnot, they will be the same exact prices in the same exact order for the same exact amount of boosts. So with that being said, the bigs for jump shooting will be Nikola Jokic, Kristaps Porzingis, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Cat. And for slashing and athleticism, it'll be Andrew Wiggins, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Derrick Jones Jr. And for the bigs, it'll be DeAndre Jordan, Zion, Giannis, and Aaron Gordon. For playmaking, it would be Chris Paul, Kyrie, James Harden, and LeBron. Now for the bigs, Al Horford, Bam Adebayo, Domantas Sabonis, and Nikola Jokic. And for rebounding, it would be Eric Bledsoe, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, and Luka Doncic. Then for the bigs for rebounding would be Enes Kanter, Steven Adams, Jonas Valanciunas, and Andre Drummond. Now for defending, it was a little bit more difficult because there's also very elite defenders like Marcus Smart and, you know, Drew Holiday, but it was really hard to leave off Ben Simmons, Kawhi, and Jimmy Butler, so I only ended up doing, I think I already said it, but I'm going to repeat it anyway. Patrick Beverley, Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, and Kawhi. And for the bigs, it would be Dwight Howard, Jared Allen, Rudy Gobert, and AD. And for post scoring, it would be Tobias Harris, Harrison Barnes, Danilo Gallinari, and Melo. This one, I actually had to go to NBA.com/stats and search up like points per post up, like the frequency and all that, because I can't just, you know, biasly say, hey, no, DeMar DeRozan is actually the best post scorer. But I also tried avoiding using duplicate players for different camps. That way I don't have Giannis for slashing, playmaking, rebounding, and defending for bigs. So lastly, we have Pascal Siakam, Kevin Love, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Joel Embiid for the bigs. And that's really going to do it for all of this. I will pop it up eventually on the screen and you guys could see more in detail of exactly what it was in case you got confused or you forgot who was where. So yeah, that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Would appreciate if you guys left some feedback in the comment section. Press that like and subscribe button for more NBA 2K21 wish list and news videos. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.